Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. My name's Jade, and this is The Interview. And today on the show we have the drummer extraordinaire, James Myers. This show is brought to you by DistroKid. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We're going to kick off with one of James's amazing covers. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Let's urge!
forever trusting who we are. No, nothing else matters.
It's still going, man. There we go. So, I had to wait for the spin and the point, didn't I? I had to do it because he got such a cheeky smile, this guy. That is our guest today, James Myers. We're going to get to him in just a moment. You all doing well out there? Hello, hello, hello. Let me just make sure we're all good over there. Wow! I'm so excited to have a drummer on the show because, you know, it's rare that you get drummers in the music community. You're doing good out there. I'm doing good myself. I'm excited. Always, this is one of my favorite days of the week because I get to hang out with musicians. Can you imagine the day when there's no musicians left and I have to interview AI? That's going to suck. But anyway, it could happen. Who knows? So I need to let you know one thing before we get on with it. Today's show is sponsored by our dear and wonderful friends at, of course, you know, a DistroKid, because I've been using DistroKid way before they started sponsoring this show. And I'll tell you why, because pretty fair prices, and I got no complaints. I started using them, I think I switched in about 2016 or something like that, moved my stuff over from the previous place I was had all my stuff uploaded to, because, hey, guess what? $24.99 annually will get you unlimited music, uploads, songs, albums, you name it. You'll get your lyrics up there if you want, Spotify checkmark, royalty splits if you want to share your music with other artists that have performed on your songs, access to premium tools, and a mobile phone app. And that's for the basic plan. If you use my code that's up the top in the chat, it's everywhere you can find it, you'll get 7% off your first year, and that is sexy. There are two other plans. There is the Musicians Plus plan for $44.99. You get two artists with that baby, and I use the Ultimate plan, this baby here, which is $89.99, where I get 5 artists because I'm greedy and I like having lots of different bands and stuff like that. So we'll hear a little bit more about DistroKid a little ways into the show. But first, now it's time to bring on our guest. Now, I see you all in the chat. If you watch on the replay in the chat as well, I'll say hello. We'll call your names out, you know, the normal time. About 30 minutes into the show, we call you all out. Let me kill that. Come back over here. Let me now make sure that James is not getting any echo. There we go. That should be fixed. Happy days. You ready? You ready? Let's bring him on. He popped up out of nowhere for me, and I was like, who's this guy with this killer kit? And some people get very excited over his camera moving around and forget that he's an awesome drummer, right? It's a great trick, but it's not the drummer. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's bring you on. James Myers in the house. Let's Oge, baby. James, hello.
What is up?
Yeah. Now, you had a massive, bolt to get here today, and cutting it down the line. You're sending me messages going, I'll be there soon. That's awesome. So I'm glad you made it, and we're nice and relaxed. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling hyped.
Good. Metallica. You know, every time I hear that song, I'm a massive Metallica head. I got into Metallica when I was super young, and that album came out, and I was one of those people who are like, I don't know about this one. It's a bit commercial. And then that song hit me. Nothing Else Matters. And it was around the time my girlfriend and I broke up, and I was Devo. Absolutely Devo. And I played that song for a week straight, nothing else, and just cried in the dark. Cried like a sissy. It was so much fun.
Wow.
But, what's your take on Metallica through the years? Are you still a fan? Ooh.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of controversy on them, of course, but I've always been a fan of Metallica. Um, you know, I even on the Reload and Load albums and stuff like that, where people are like, this is commercial garbage. I was like, hey, I still accept it for what it is because it's Metallica, right? So, yeah.
True. That's the thing, isn't it? How people say, it's commercial, or, the thing is, like, as soon as you release anything, like a sticker or a piece of merch, you're commercial. You're making money. Like, so it's a funny line, especially metal. Like, and you're a metalhead, I'm a metalhead, and I remember being younger and people going, I don't know, it's a bit of a sellout, and it's like, why? Because they're making money. I don't know, and I think it's throughout history, artists evolve and change. Is that necessarily selling out? It's a tough one. I still love them, whatever. And those who don't, still, Lars Ulrich is a tool. What do you think of Lars Ulrich as a drummer?
Hey, I think he put on a lot of the, he did a lot for the evolution of drums within like metal and stuff like that. So I think, he definitely played his role, especially on the earlier albums and stuff like that. Even now, he's still like on the new album. He's got double bass rolling in there and stuff. So I mean, hey, he's Lars Ulrich, man. And in terms of like a drummer coming back to learning drums, the songs like that, Nothing Else Matters, it's a little bit long, but it's a little bit easier to play. So it's there's a lot of Metallica in there as I've been relearning how to play and everything. So
it's interesting. I think the controversy around someone like Lars Ulrich is not really his drumming. I think he's copped a lot of flack, mainly because of the Napster shit that went down. We all know he famously turned on all the fans, and you can't turn on metalheads. Like, we're very, don't do that, dude. So I think that's more the problem. And
I did a whole Napster commercial. He did one on MTV a long time ago, and Lori's Mishmash had a few weeks back the whole commercial, the commercial bit, make a commercial. So I actually did Lars Ulrich, but the whole Napster bit from MTV. So it was kind of funny. I didn't put it on my channel, but
there you go, Laurie, is on your channel. All right, let's get into some questions, my friend. What does music mean to you?
That's a deep question.
Deep cuts, man.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all my life I've been, even when I was a young little kid, before I could even really do much, my dad was sitting me in front of a drum kit, and stuff like that. So I've always had music in my life. So, kind of naturally just gravitated towards that. So as far as what it means to me, I mean, yeah, it means a lot. I'm not going to say it's everything because there's a lot of things in the world, but
yeah, absolutely. Look, I started drumming, I think around 2020, and got myself my first electronic drum kit. Always wanted to play my whole life. Every jam room I was ever in as the singer or guitarist, as soon as everyone went out for a smoke break, I was the first bitch on the drum kit, and the drummer would be like, "Get off it, idiot! Leave it alone." How is that whole, because it's a very strenuous thing, drumming, yeah? Like, to me, I equate drumming with singing. Like, that you have to be kind of fit in a way? Because you are the machine. You're like a spider that has to be in time. There's so many moving parts compared to like a two arms. It's coordination. It's patting your head. Were you natural at being able to coordinate, or did it start out like, well?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I've always kind of been able to feel the beat and the rhythm of a song. So, um, yeah, I mean, I picked it up. The hardest part for me is like memorizing a full song, and all of the intricacies, that every different drummer takes for each song. Um, so memorizing it, that stuff is a little bit difficult, but
Otherwise, they're all good. Because I often feel bad for drummers, right? In the times I've played, because they're always at the back. They're uncredited. They're like unsung heroes. Without them, you've got no rhythm, and they're sweating back there. They're working their ass off, and then nobody helps them carry their gear out at the end of the show.
yeah, that is a crying shame. And then the singer, and then you beg the singer to help you carry out, your snare drum or something, and he drops it on the ground because he doesn't care.
Yeah. I'm not that singer, man. You know what? I'm going to just put it out there. I've said this many times. I was always the first one to help, because if I didn't, he wouldn't let me use it at rehearsals. So you gotta look after your drummer, folks. Look after your fucking drummers, man, because without them, you're just playing to air. That's the way it is.
That was one of my things, is like, back in the early days of like early jazz and stuff, like Viola Smith. I think that was like, oh, I don't remember the decade that was, but like old times like that, big jazz bands and stuff, the drummer was always front and center. And 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 then we moved to the modern age of music, and the drummer's shoved in the back corner and nobody knows that he exists. And I think, I'm not in a band anymore, but um, that was always one of the things in the band. Was I was always kind of like in the middle of everything, and we just kind of like crowded around me when we played live shows. And I loved that. And same, if I could, I would make it so that like every drummer was back up front and center.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea, especially with headbang dudes at the front headbanging, to feel the power of the kick drum in their face. Probably would create somebody going crazy in the front row.
Yeah.
Those vibrations.
Man, I love that double bass. Oh man,
Yeah.
Pump it in the car.
There's something about a double bass, isn't there? Like, I've got to play drums on Pete Johns' songs, and I try every song to chuck in a bit of double bass, even though I know he's going to go, really? Double bass in an acoustic song? So, Pete,
Right.
you don't understand, Pete, double bass. Let's talk. You mentioned your family. So do you recall the music that was played in your household as a little one? And who were some of those artists, and did any of them influence you, but your family played in the house?
Yeah, so my dad was more Pantera, Megadeth, uh, that type of stuff. And my mom was more Alice in Chains and that sort of thing.
Wow.
But my mom also got into like, she liked everything. So rap, a little bit of country. So I got to listen to a lot of different things growing up. And then of course I took my own lane as I got older, but yeah.
Dude, right now I'm sitting here frothing over that, jealous as parents that listen to Megadeth. What? My dad grounded me for listening to Megadeth. He's like, "What is wrong with you? Songs about death." That's fucking really cool. Yeah, Alice in Chains, man. What a nice era to have parents playing music. That's awesome. So
Yeah, and I recently, a couple of years ago, took my dad. He had never gone and seen Pantera live back in the old days. So when they got back together here and they were touring with Metallica, I took him. Me and him went and seen them. Yeah, that was pretty badass.
I think I heard you on a show recently talking about. I think you were talking about Pantera. What do you think about the new lineup of Pantera? Is Zach Wild cutting it in your opinion?
I think he is. I mean, no one's ever going to be exactly to the other person, but Zach Wild is an incredible guitarist. So, and the drummer is Dom uh, Lombardo or something like that. I think.
No, Lombardo. I think Lombardo's playing with. He's doing Mr. Bungle. He's doing a whole bunch of. I don't think he's. Is he? No, he's not doing it. No. Who's doing it? Who's doing? Gary Hubs will know. Who's drumming with them?
Gary, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like I remember when they first did the first shows back, Pantera, and people were slagging it big time. They were railing him really bad. And I think, with some people, they judge on the first appearance when they came back and go, oh, well, they suck now. Like, they're never going to be as good. But like anything, you put Zach Wild, who's like fucking incredible, into Pantera, and after a year of touring, Charlie Benanti, that's it, Charlie Benanti from
Benante.
Anthrax.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Lombardo, Benante, yeah, somewhere in there.
But I think when they came back and started touring, they really didn't have it wasn't like 12 months of jamming or any of this stuff. This was like a pretty short-term jam, and they were learning on the road. I saw them recently on a YouTube pirate video somebody put up, and they were tight as fuck. So, it's...
Yeah.
People are going to cry regardless, aren't they, the old days, man, the old days.
Yeah, it's nothing like the old days, but man, it was still a hell of a concert, man. It was good.
Yeah. Look, my thing with Pantera, I saw them here in Australia back in the day, right, with Dimebag and everything. The gig that I saw
nice.
the gig that I saw wasn't a good gig. It wasn't good. It was at a really terrible venue, and there's no air conditioning at this horrible venue called Festival Hall here. It's a dive, man. It's so bad. And my thing was, it was back in the time when they had marijuana leaves everywhere. And it was like, are you guys like in a band or just promoting pot? And halfway through the show, they're throwing joints out to the crowd. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this a drug deal or a gig?
Fuck yeah, man.
But it was wild. They just didn't play their best. But hey, that's the thing. You can take that and hold on to that forever and go, oh, they suck because I saw this one gig. One gig is like this much out of our life, you know what I mean? So I think they're still awesome.
I mean, absolutely. I could complain about the fact that it was at Ford Field in Detroit, and that's a football stadium with a dome on it. And I mean, yeah, it didn't sound the greatest, but it still sounded awesome.
It's fucking Pantera.
Exactly.
Fucking Pantera. All right, let's talk about albums and stuff. So these 4 questions I ask everybody on this show. Do you remember your first album that somebody gave you as a gift, and the first one with little James Myers pocket money from back in the day, if you can remember?
Oh, man.
It's like he's processing.
That was still in the era of tapes.
Yeah, hey, it doesn't matter. Tape, vinyl, whatever. The first thing that you can remember that you got. Doesn't have to be perfect.
I never had any money, so I never bought shit. But like, I took them from my dad. So I definitely had Pantera tapes in the tape player, and a couple other ones, Metallica and Megadeth among those. Yeah. I don't remember the first one I bought or gifted. Ooh. No.
See, it's normally something really embarrassing. That's why I'll bring it up.
No, honestly, if it was like, I'll be honest, my first concert was Ricky Martin. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, man. Was it good? Did you enjoy it?
I was maybe like 7 years old. I barely my mom got free tickets, and she was like, "You want to go to a concert? See what a real concert's like?" I was like, "Okay, I don't know what I'm doing." Yeah, so yeah, I mean, so that's embarrassing. But yeah, I don't remember the albums. I'd have to think about that one.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Mate, look, I can't talk. I went and saw Vanilla Ice. So,
I mean, that's pretty cool though.
again, free tickets. And you know how I got them? This is interesting, maybe interesting. I was working in a shop where we sold foam, sponge, right? And I got a call at work from some guy who's like, "Yeah, I'm the roadie, the tech crew from Vanilla Ice." I'm like, "What?" Fuck off. And he's like, "Yeah, we need some foam to put under the turntables." So he came in and I gave the foam, and my boss was at lunch. So I just gave them the foam for free, and he gave me 2 tickets to go.
Oh man,
You know,
that's the perfect setup for you, huh?
yeah, parachute pants were everywhere. It was wild. It was
Let me give you a couple sponges, and you get some free tickets.
exactly good times. It was. I did wear a Slayer T-shirt, so fucking Slayer, and
yeah.
you got to do that, don't you? So, all right, I'm interested in your drums. Yeah, Ice Baby, I'm a nutter. I see you there. Stop laughing, you weirdos. We'll call you out in a minute, folks. So we'll get there. We'll play another song soon. Drums. Was there a calling to drums first off? Was there any other instruments? Did you sing? What got you actually moving to want to make music yourself and hit something? And what age were you that hit you to do it?
Well, it was most of my life with all the anger that I had. I wanted to hit a lot of things. I'm kidding.
Now,
No.
now I'm remember what I said. Remember that thread. So you're a violent kid and you bashed everyone.
I had to make it interesting.
Yeah,
No, I'm
you're
just
right.
kidding.
No, but that brings up a point, like, because it's an aggressive thing, isn't it, drumming? Like, so you have to have some kind of feeling to beat it. Beat it. Yeah, I guess. Go. Sorry,
I'm
I
feeling
interrupted.
to beat it.
I interrupted.
Yeah. Again, when I was a little kid, my dad sat me down on drums, and that was the first like memory that I actually kind of remember, was sitting on the drums. And um, always wanted a drum set. I always wanted to be like Lars Ulrich or someone famous in a band. So I actually got my parents got me a little plastic kit when I was younger, and I tore that up. And obviously, you can't buy new heads for those, so garbage that went. And of course, we were shit poor, so I didn't see another drum set for until I got into junior high, which is 7th grade here. So that's when I picked up concert band and then started playing on the snare drum only. Yeah,
It's
concert band kept going.
like the trope that we know, like you see on sitcoms and movies, when the kid comes home and goes, "I want to play drums," and the parents go, "Oh no, that's going to be really loud." Were your parents like that with you? Were they like, "Oh no, that's
So my mom was actually pretty badass with it.
awesome"?
She loved it. She loved watching me play and everything. And she loved listening to it as well. And I would have friends over sometimes, and they play guitar and stuff, and we'd jam in the basement. She loved it. When she didn't want to hear it, she would just turn up her TV even louder, whatever she was watching, and watch TV. Yeah, she didn't care at all. Yeah, she was really cool about it. Now, at my dad's house, my dad loved it. My dad didn't care at all. But his wife was a little bit like, "Don't play that. Don't do that. Don't do that." So.
And like you mentioned, drums are not cheap. So I think a lot of parents say, I remember my parents saying, "Oh, you want to be a singer? Oh, that's really easy. We just get you a microphone. There you go. Just don't do the drums." But I always wanted to hit things. I literally did want to go out and hit things. So I thought a guitar would help, but it didn't. I still wanted to hit things. But hey,
Damn it.
This is what happens. So I'm interested in, so you get like this small little drum and you work on this because the wrists are important for drums. I think a lot of, if you're not a drummer, people probably don't realize how important the wrists are in drums. They just see people hitting and don't realize how much technique goes into this part of the hand. So how do you approach that just with the snare? What's the approach? And did it take a long time to get down to paradiddles?
Oh, I got an excellent wrist technique. That's what she said.
I need to do it. I need to do it.
I feel like it's New Year's Eve, and I'm like, I gotta get off.
There we go. So, James, your wrist technique. Do we need to go any further? You know what? Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I did when I was in like seventh grade there, 8th grade was mostly snare drum. So I was working on rudiments, paradiddles, flams, all that good stuff. And yeah, and I carried that through high school until I graduated. I did concert and marching band in high school.
How is marching band? Because I know that's a really big thing in America. Like, we don't do marching bands here in Australia. So is there a really tight process for it? And how hard is it to walk, and do that and keep in time? Like, it's hard enough sitting on a fucking drum throne, walking and fucking drumming.
Oh man, I played the big bass drum. I was first bass drum, so that's like a 26-inch bass drum or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, that was fucking heavy. It killed my back so bad. I think I still got back problems from that. And we did marching bands, and we did parades and everything. And I'm here. Where I'm at is, Christmas time, you got 6 inches of snow or more on the ground, so you're marching through that. Yeah, fun times. And then in the summertime, you're out on a 116-degree football field, learning all your positions and steps for the halftime shows for football. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it kicks your ass.
How long did you do that for?
Did I do what?
Doing marching band.
Oh, marching band. High school, so that's 4 years.
Wow. So yeah, I can see how your back would be absolutely rat shit. Yeah, that's cruel. Have you ever thought about suing the school?
They don't even have a band anymore in that school. They got rid of it because it was so small. There was only 40 kids in the class, so yeah. Well,
I think it's time to play some music. We're going to go from marching bands to some Steel Panther. Why the fuck not? And this,
yeah.
So this is Death to All But Metal. You ready, folks? You ready to grab hold of your fucking tits, folks?
It's a joke. Don't take this one seriously, guys. It's
let's do it. You ready?
Drums though. Let's do it.
All right, I'm ready to go. Everything, I got to make sure you can hear the sound. Yeah, we're all good. And let's Oge, baby.
Google down.
Man, you gotta
Hell
love
yeah,
it.
man.
You gotta love some Steel Panther. It's
Absolutely.
Let's say hello to everybody. Then I'm gonna come back to this question that I have. So, folks, you know the deal. I can't scroll up all the way, so type something, anything, whatever, in the chat so I can give you a name call out, and we'll go through and give you all a shout. Thanks for being here live, Thomas Christ. We got Doug Kidder, Forrest of the Wolf, Real Justine Casbury, Capsulam, Laurie's Mishmosh, the Dom Father's in the house as well. Hottie, what's going on? Thank you, Hottie, for the super chat, the super sticker. There it is. Boom. $5, you rock. Who else do I see? Tremor Bear's in the house too. I'm scrolling around looking for names. Gary Hubs, what's going on, Hubsy? Anyone else? I'm at Country Walking. What's going on? Good to see you. Something, anything. Says here. Who else do I see? Dan Eckberg, thanks for joining us. I can't see anyone else unless I'm Jamie Lynn. G'day. All right, we good? We got most of you. If I see anyone else, I'll try and catch up and do the thing. Leela, Jenny Jolivet is in the house. Cam Hardenhausen is lurking and cooking with the hubby. Hello to both of you. All righty, let's keep going on. This is interesting with metal, right? Remember, there was a time back in, I guess it's the 80s, late 80s, when a group called the PMRC in America were like, you know what? We think metal is destroying people's. It's evil. It's satanic. And they tried to put a stop to it. And I think a lot of people who don't understand metal, don't understand that we like to take the piss a little bit, right? You can't seriously write music about, Satan. It's an art form of like a horror film, like a gory novel or a gory painting. Or you look at anything from the Dark Ages during the Black Plague, paintings were people dying everywhere, Death is a thing. And metal kind of takes the piss. Have you ever faced that kind of pushback by people who are like, oh, you're a metalhead? What?
Yeah, not even metal, skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
There's a skateboard company called Blind Skateboards, and their little guy was a little skull guy, and my mom was like, I don't want to see you wearing shirts like that. That scares me. You're going down a dark path and all this stuff. And
No.
I'm like, I'm just skateboarding. I'm not going down a dark.
A piece of wood with wheels, hey. I was a skater too, and yeah, it's so hard when you listen to metal and you skate. It's like double the. Oh no, I'm going to get punched by the jocks! Yay! Because did you experience that too with metal?
Yeah, I was quite the poser because I listened to a little bit of everything.
That's a good thing.
I got a lot of hate.
That's a really good thing. I like hearing that because I think from back in my time, I listened to metal. There was a lot of metalheads who were like, it's only metal. And if you listen to anything else, you're a poser. And it's like, no, dude, you don't understand. You need to listen to other things to make your metal better. And there's still people now who are in their 50s and going, no, only metal. And it's like, oh, dude, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, in my high school, it was like the punk scene, and then there was like the scene kids who listened to like metalcore and stuff like that, the kind of emo-ish kids. And then, of course, the jocks, and then the burnouts. Yeah, and I didn't fit into any of those because I liked punk and I liked metal and I liked the metalcore and I liked some of the old burnout music. So
you can't help what you like, really. It's a strange thing. People get upset. Hey, Mr. Smith, thank you for that gifted sub that went to Robert Stingle. You rock. And hello, Pookie. I see you lurking. Thanks for being here. Pookie's a fucking member for 27 fucking months. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Thank you for that. Now, Let's talk about lessons. Now, did you have lessons at school? Were there lessons offered to you? And did you like get at any chance say, here's a drum kit and here's a recorder? And you went, oh, the recorder sounds good.
Yeah, I preferred playing the recorder. No, in high school, there was, it was marching band. So I guess during like the junior high phase of it, they kind of like taught you how to read notes and stuff a little bit. I mean, it was a whole class, a whole band, right? So they didn't like sit there and spend individual time with every single one, whatever. I said that wrong, but yeah. So I kind of had to pick it up on my own a little bit. When I was a little bit younger, I took lessons for like maybe 3 or 4 months, something like that. That was it.
I love that. It's interesting that, the argument that goes on forever, theory against practice and practical learning. I think a lot of people, especially in our this little YouTube little world that we have here, I think a lot of people really just wung it. Is that a word, wung it? They wung it, and then later on you might pick up a few things there. But there is nothing better than practicality and actually hitting something and understanding the rhythm and your body movements and that kind of stuff. Interesting with music, though, you look at tab and chords and all this stuff for guitars. I look at drum theory and just go, what the fuck does any of that mean? It's
music theory, man. I wish that I was able to play the guitar, and stuff like that. I do have one, and I've been sort of dabbling with it. But every time I play guitar, I feel bad because I'm not playing drums. So it's a catch-22 right there. But yeah, and I don't know if my teacher was blind or just bad or what. But when I was younger and I took those lessons, the guy was blind, and he didn't know that I was actually playing open-handed on the right-handed kit. And pretty much whenever I sat down, it was always open-handed because I was sitting down on a right-handed kit. So that was another obstacle like to overcome while playing those drums.
So so you're a lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. And I play open hand still. I can do it, but yeah, it's tough, And the thing is too, I'm sure you experience this. Being a lefty, every kit you kind of get the chance to sit on is made for a fucking righty, and it takes a lot to move that shit around. Yeah.
Yeah. Every club kit, every time I went to someone's basement where they're jamming, it's always a right-handed setup. So I just hop on and, hey, this kid can play. Let him hop on the drums for a little bit, and I get on there and just hop on and start playing. It's left-handed.
Have you got stick for it? Did you like that drummer reference? Oh wow, I'm so funny. But it's true. Like left-handed people throughout history have been like poo-pooed for like and it's like I always makes me laugh because I can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? It's like you can try and learn the other way, but you're left-handed. What are you going to do? So did you run into any of those snooty people, or does that even exist anymore?
I haven't really ran into that sort of thing as far as playing live and stuff like that. But, I've had comments on YouTube and stuff. People are like, oh, you're a lefty and stuff like that. Never, I guess, not anything bad. But I've had comments on it. But yeah.
You got to love the peanut gallery. Always pleasant things to say, don't they, from their invisible mask? You got to love them. So you're playing in high school, as we call it here, and did you join a band? Was there a school band or anything? And I always love this question: the first band that you're in, the name of the band. I think it's always telling.
Okay, yeah, I got you on this one. So the I was always trying to start a band with buddies that really didn't know how to play anything. And I was kind of always the one that was motivating it all. Um, however, the first band I was in was just me and another buddy guitarist. It was called Hateful Sin, and it was kind of like it was a metal kind of, he was just playing metal riffs, basic things, high school stuff. And and I was playing basic drums to it. He took it as far as wanting to like wear eyeliner and stuff, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know about that. That's just not my style. Um, Nothing wrong to anybody who does and wants to do that. That's, hey man, you go, you do it. But for me personally, it just wasn't, it didn't fit. So yeah, I didn't like that. But we played the school talent show that year, and we didn't win, but we had a standing ovation from the whole entire auditorium, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
That was like my first taste of like, this is amazing being on stage. Yeah.
How good is being on stage? It is just it. Yeah, you can't beat it. Like, even in front of 3 people. I don't care what anyone says. 3 people's even better sometimes, because you know those 3 people are fucking invested. Right? You know they're watching every single thing you do.
That was why my last band broke up at the end, because I was all about, man, I don't care who we play in front of. Let's just play shows, and it doesn't even matter if there's nobody there. We'll think of it as like practice, and why not, dude? Like, you know, and these guys were all, you know, rock star, and they. So I was the one that did all the booking, and we played at this shitty little bar. Some of you might know it, the Token Lounge. For those people in the area, I know there's a few of them out there in the chat, but there was nobody there, and the club guy called me up, and it was like 2 hours before showtime, and he's like, "Hey, there's nobody here. Do you guys just want to come out and jam and whatnot?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And so I gathered up everybody, and we went out and played. And when we got done with the show, they're like, called me up on the Nokia cell phone back then, and on the road as they're driving back, and he's like, "Fuck this, fuck you, I'm not fucking in this band anymore. We're not playing in front of nobody," and all this shit. And I was like, all right, wow. So
Okay,
yeah,
princess.
the band that yeah, right.
That's the thing. It's like doing YouTube as well. It's like doing live streams. It's like playing gigs. You got to play that stuff. You got to cut your teeth. That's where that comes from, paying your dues, you know. And you look at it, you got to have that attitude of like, oh wow, there's like 10 people here. This is a paid rehearsal. Awesome. Like, that's the opportunity to cut your teeth, you know. And most of those people there, most of them know you anyway. They're your friends, you know what I mean?
Right.
First band name?
Well, that first band name from the high school talent show was Hateful Sin.
Hateful Sin.
Yeah, that wasn't mine. I don't think that was mine.
Right.
That was my idea.
I love it. Hateful Sin. Hello to Ballon VFX, who's joined us. I see Mr. Smith, of course, Robbie Stengel. There's someone else I saw coming. There's Zelinsky. G'day to you. I'm trying to keep up with the call-outs. You know what? We're going to play another song. I'm going to play some Nazareth, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do some Nazareth with some Love Hurts. You ready for this, my friends who are here and watching on the
slow
replay?
one.
Let's do it. Why not? And I'm ready to hit it. I'm all good. Make sure you can hear the music. Boom. We're good there. Let's do it. This Love Hurts by Nazareth. Oh, ja. All right, let me get back over here. What's going on? I'm hitting all the wrong buttons today. Awesome. Now, I did play a slower one. I know. You go, oh, a slower one. What's going on? Well, we got to give some variety to show all that stuff. Folks, I just gave out 5 gifted memberships. Whoever they went to, have fun. There we go. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Yeah. This is an important question, and I don't think people think about this enough, and that's why I want to bring it up. Being a drummer, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things. We briefly touched on it. There's things like loading gear. There's things like the cost of every single thing of a drum kit is not cheap. There is the noise that it makes. It's not something you can just like bang out wherever you want. Literally. There is also the energy needed to perform. So many moving parts to being a drummer. How do you keep up with all of these things? So, keeping fit enough to do it. It's because, man, I get on the kit for 10 minutes and I'm just sucking in air. I mean, it's a workout. Like, it definitely is. And things like, not only, I think people don't think about this, but not only the cost of skins, every single part on a tom has a cost. And then you've got the cases to put everything in. And fuck me. How do you guys do it?
Well, I'm not very healthy, as you can see.
Join the club.
I could definitely lose a few pounds, and I don't play probably as much as I probably should. What was the question?
Just starting alone, the cost. Like,
okay,
because you seriously have to, like, there's a lot of money involved in just the smallest things. Cymbals alone, man. Cymbals are like, a mortgage.
Yes. Cymbals, $475, $500, depends on which ones you get. So, I mean, yeah, that's 7 of them on the kit or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I break cymbals often, so there's that.
Wow. So how often do you think you would break a cymbal?
Probably more than I should. Hey, at least I'm honest. No,
I've seen somebody break a cymbal before, and as soon as there's that tear in it, it's gonna keep
it's
going.
all about how hard you hit them and stuff like that. And when I play, I'm hitting everything really hard. So yeah, they're breaking a little bit more often. And then drum heads, same thing, every few months. Snare, maybe every month or so, give or take, depending on how much I play. Drumsticks, again, same thing. I probably break those more than I should. A lot of rim shots and stuff like that. So every week or so, every couple of days, if I'm playing hard, I'm breaking sticks. And sticks are like $50 for like a 4-pack.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they're essentially just 2 pieces of wood. They're just 2 big pencils, really.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's funny because people don't think about it, right? And unless you're in a band with a real drummer, you see that struggle, and like there's so much that goes into it. Like not only just getting a skin and paying for a skin, putting on your new snare, there's tuning that skin. Like there's an art to tuning a skin on a drum kit. I have no idea how to fucking do it. That's why I have an electronic drum kit.
Samples, baby. They're always going to sound good.
Samples. That's the way, unless you're Glenn Fricker, he gets very upset about samples, because everyone sounds the same in his opinion. And, to a degree, that's true. GarageBand, all the drummers sound exactly the same. You can tell when somebody's used GarageBand drummer. You can hear it and just go, oh, that's the same drum roll that Anders would do on GarageBand, So it just feels like, well, it is. Are you Do you feel like sometimes drums are driving you broke? I guess that's where I'm heading.
Well, considering I just bought a new house just to house all my drums, yeah, I'm broke. Whole mortgage taken out on that one.
Yay! Yay! Being a musician's fun, isn't it?
Just so I could have more room to have a larger recording studio and actually fit all the drums and everything in there properly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to consider taking up drums. I mean, you need to have room, you need to have the space to do it, the never-ending cost, and the fucking stress of putting together everything. You know, you can't just. It's not like a guitar. I can just go pick up my guitar over here and go, I'm going to move that into the lounge room. It's a fucking whole day. You know.
Oh yeah. Especially if you're miking it.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. That is a whole. I need to make an episode on that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it feels there's a lot of jokes that go around about individual vocalists have jokes about them, drummers have jokes about them as well, and I don't know. I just always used to get pissed off at drummer jokes because even though I wasn't a drummer, I'd be like, yeah, but fucking, that's the dude who has to have a car, right? Has to have, so much stuff. And you just sit there and go, yeah, it's just the drummer. It's like, no, go fuck yourself, man. Like, this is an investment forever.
Just a wild motherfucker, the drummer is. He doesn't have no common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm the one sitting here with the car in the house. And
exactly. The drummers are normally the most responsible out of everybody, you know what I mean? And in one of the bands I was in Despised, one of my first big bands, none of us had cars. We were all so young, but our drummer had a car, but it was only a small car. And to go to gigs, because he had double kicks, he'd put them on the back seat. And,
oh, no.
And we'd have to sit in the back seat under a drum, under a kick drum. Fuck, man, some of the worst journeys of my life. Fuck. But
we had a Honda CRX.
Oh,
if you know
wow.
what that is.
Yeah.
That is a tiny car. I didn't have double bass, but we were definitely riding with at least one bass drum, and the basses had like a little half cab, and then that would sit on the other guy's lap. And then we'd shove the guitars up in the ceiling above everything.
Fuck. And when you're young too, you don't think like I don't recall ever thinking while I was under a fucking kick drum in the back of a car, like being literally crushed. Hey, if we have an accident, I'm fucked. Like there's no surviving this, But you don't think when you're young, you just get under it and go, yeah, whatever. Laurie's
gonna say, were you questioning life's decisions?
Yeah, now I am. I'm just thankful I'm still here. Laurie says, I've spent many times in the back of my husband's van with the drum kit because there wasn't any seats. See?
She got kicked to the back seat.
Yeah, to the back. Off you go. Zach Thong, pausing guitars. Tristan, welcome to you as well. Thanks for everybody being here. I need to do this because I've mentioned at the top of the show, today's show is sponsored by our friends at DistroKid. So you know what? I'm going to let me, from a previous time, another day and age where I was somewhere else, I'm going to let past me, tell you about why you should use DistroKid. So let's do that right now. This presentation is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Introducing DistroKid, your ultimate music distribution solution. For just $29.99 a year, DistroKid empowers you to release unlimited tracks on all major music platforms worldwide, including Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, and so many more. Plus, use my link distrokid.com/VIP/JadeStarr and get 7% off your first year. You'll also keep 100% of your royalties and gain access to valuable tools like instant verification on Spotify and detailed revenue analytics. Don't let your music go unheard. Join DistroKid today and take your music career to the next level.
Thank you, DistroKid, for sponsoring today's presentation.
Yes, absolutely. I can't do this without DistroKid because, you know what, folks? We're playing covers today. There's a bunch of covers, and you know what those bands are like. They go, give me my money because I'm wretched. So we get to do this thanks to DistroKid. Thank you so much, DistroKid. I really, really couldn't do it without you. Let's bring our guest back on, James. All right. So
Yeah, thanks, DistroKid. I don't have any good, music that is non-copyright. No, actually I do. But anyways.
I do have that here. But I feel like in your future, you're going to be like collaborating with quite a few people in this community. So let's talk about how you got here on YouTube. Now, you started your YouTube channel in 2020, am I correct?
Yes.
And what was it that drove you to start a YouTube channel?
I started playing drums back in 2018, and because I moved into my new house, the house that I was previously in, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Because all my life I've always learned original tracks, never learned covers or anything like that. So I was like, I can't do originals anymore because I don't have a band. I guess I'm gonna do some covers because hey, why not? So I started watching YouTube videos and Instagram stuff, and I posted a few little clips to like Instagram and whatnot. And it was private, and my family all liked it, and they were like, "Hey, this is pretty cool. Actually, you should do more of this." And so I was like, "Okay." So in 2020, my work went fully remote, so I was able to basically start setting up a whole drum room inside there and getting everything going and just kept going from there. Yep, here we are.
It was a bizarre time, the old 2020, wasn't it? So many things happened, and we talk about this all the time on these interviews. There's a lot of people, especially musicians around this community. 2020 was a reset for us to, I don't know, be able to focus on music. It was like, hey, the world stopped. Animals went, oh my God, the people have fucked off for a while. And they came out and we all went inside, and a lot of musicians felt like, hey, shit, this is a cool thing. We can actually focus on something a little bit more. And it looks like from your channel, which looks really nice. You have a really nice looking channel.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, there's a few videos there that I haven't done thumbnails for, but we won't, that was during my moving process here. But yeah, generally I always do thumbnails and stuff. And I am a graphic and web designer by trade, so I have the ability to do it.
It's cool, because it's one of those things I do. When I go to somebody's channel, I look at it and go, well, how exciting are the thumbnails? YouTube put a lot of pressure on us to make these thumbnails be interesting, and we try things all the time, but ultimately it's the content. Like you want to catch people, but thumbnails don't bring people back, right? They might get to look, but the content's going to be good, keep people there, and it's a nice look to have something pretty to pretty. It works, but no,
it's so pretty.
If you know what I mean, if it catches your fucking eye, then it's a good thing. So, and here,
yeah, it's all about the watch time.
It is. It's about the watch time, and as Thomas says here, very pro. And I saw Valerie Butts in the chat. Hello, Valerie. Always a pleasure, never a chore. As well as this guy here, Peter Johns is in the house. Zach Thong, hello to you as well. Now, I knew nothing of you, James. I had no idea who you were until Laurie's Mishmosh. And Laurie was like, here's this guy, and then I started seeing you on these collaborations that were going around. So, but before I get, I'm jumping the gun. I'm too excited today. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
I feel like it's New Year's Eve.
Stephen, I gotta get off. All right, so what has driven you to choose the tracks that you have chosen for a lot of your drum covers here? Is there like a formula you're going with to choose these tracks?
Not right now. I'm doing a lot of collaborations right now, so it's really whatever anybody else has been coming to me with lately. It's like, all right, yeah, let's do that. All right, well, I can send you the collab video, and I can also make a drum cover out of that. Because they'll end up using all the footage of the drums in the collaboration videos. So yeah, I can make a full video with that, and then I can expand upon that and do drums only versions where it's just the drums. So anybody could technically use the drums from my versions and collaborate with me, if you will, and use my drums. And those ones I try to do like the one take version where it's just the one angle, because a lot of times in the collabs and the regular drum covers I use two angles for video, and so when I do that one, it's sort of like, here's one full take, because really that's how I do them, is one take. So
yeah, what I love that you do that. It's smart. It's a really smart way to run a YouTube channel, especially a music channel, especially drums, because with drums you gotta, most of the time you gotta have other people to play with. Hey, it's nice to sit around and play with this. Anyway, it's nice to sit around and play with yourself, but drums is a thing that is best enjoyed with other people, is what I'm trying to say. But I love that is really smart. So you do a collaboration with a group of people, those drums are recorded, then you go and put that to backing tracks of the rest of the instruments, and you're getting the most out of one thing. You're getting three things out of one performance. It's very clever marketing. So I love that about your channel. And again, it looks pretty.
It's so pretty. Plus the shorts. You got shorts off that too.
Let's bring out the shorts.
Yeah, so and as far as like, I have tons of songs that I would love to do. But it's all about timing. Got to go to work. I just bought a house. I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. So really, I'm focused on trying to get people's collabs done, because I'm pretty far behind. So that's what I'm focused on mainly right now.
It's tough, isn't it? Because it's one of the reasons I don't do many collabs is because I've got this, and I'm just really unreliable. Ask Laurie, or anyone I've collaborated with. But it is, you've got some people who are able to just churn stuff out. And then you've got machines like Laurie, who just is she's like the Terminator of producing music. And
she is.
She is the Terminator. So if you peel her face off, she's a robot underneath. It's true.
Yeah.
I've seen her naked without her skin before. What am I talking about?
Have you seen the top drawer yet?
Mate, have I seen the top drawer? Oh, that took me months to recover from. Lots of people are just going, what the fuck is the top drawer? Whatever. But it's all good. So, all right, let's play some more music. I'm going to find a random thing. We're going to close with that.
Lori was, I did a collaboration with Lori, and ever since then we've been working quite a bit together, and I am churning them out normally as fast as her, but the moving thing kind of stalled out a little bit, but I'm back at it. But anyways, it's big shout out to Lori. I getting on her Friday night hangs and stuff like that, it's always fun. So
shall we, let's play one of these collaborations. Why not? Let's do this now. So again, this one, you've got a version of you playing to the backing track, and you've got this cover which features a whole lot of shady characters, I must say. Shady characters from our community. They don't mind me saying that they're shady. Let me click this on so you can hear the music. Okay. Let's
gotta watch them.
Let's do this here. The shady characters right here. We're going to play Styx Blue Collar Man right now.
Hey.
Let's get ready for Chris. He's wearing his favorite outfit, what he wears in the bedroom. This is what he wears in the bedroom, so I've been told.
Ooh, the construction man.
Yeah, the construction man. That was his favorite. So let's do this. This is a Styx Blue Collar Man. You ready to oge, folks? Let's oge, baby. Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So you come into this community and you meet a whole bunch of us ragtag buffoons, and here you are doing all these covers with everybody, collabs. And how's the process for you? Is it, like everyone has their own processes for how they do these kind of things? Because this isn't. Sure, we live in the future. We're able to do these collabs over the internet, and but it takes a bit of work to get everybody matched up and get everybody in sync and all of that. How do you approach doing one of these collaborations? So say Laurie reaches out. What's your method of preparing for this kind of thing?
So say Laura reaches out, says, "Hey, here's the track we got in mind, and here's the track for it." And I'll usually take it into like Moises, and I'll break it down. I'll do a click track, and then I'll do a drums only track. So at any point, if I get like hearing it when I'm learning a song, if I can't really tell what parts going on there, I'll switch over to the drums only and kind of listen and see what's going on there. I set up the track like that with all 3 tracks and the layers, and then I do an audio track underneath that. And the audio track typically has like your say there's a fill coming up in one measure, in the audio track, just, because I'm learning a new song every week and then I'm forgetting them and throwing them out the window every week. So, I'll put in that audio track, Lars Ulrich fill coming up here, or, fill or something like that. And so I know that, that fill's coming up. So I remember it. And then, I just keep going until I hit the record button, and I just keep going until I actually get the first solid take that I think is like 98% there-ish. And I roll with that and one take it. And so I 4K videos. So I send that 4K video with the drums only over to Lori, and then I usually mix my own drums for that. I've working with Lori. There's also been the other side of the coin. I did a couple. I actually mixed a few of them that we've done. So I mixed all the instruments and did everything. So that was also very fun because I do have a little bit of knowledge of that. I'm not perfect, but that if that's what it calls for. And there's even been a few times where I've edited the video for the song that we've done. So I have no problem doing that either. So send it. There's also been a few instances where people have been like, hey, I did a song with Chris Lane, Senior, one of his originals.
Yeah.
I sent him the stems, the raw audio from all 14 microphones that I have, XLR microphones that I have set up running into the interface. I sent him all the wave files to that. And then I also sent him a mixed down version, how I would mix it, just throwing my standard stuff on it. Sent that to him as well. Use whatever version you want.
I love that idea of recording to video and then extracting the audio from the video. That's really, really smart stuff for collaborations. And I got to master that song. I think that was a Music for Life song. Was that? Yeah, I think so. Was it? And Chris's music really bang, exploded with real drums on there. Just made look, you can't deny it. Real drums change everything. It's just, there's nothing beats it. And for the longest time in this community, we only had one drummer, this guy, and we don't even know who he is. He's got a mask. He wears a bag over his head, So this is all we had. And the way this guy came into the community was he took somebody's song without asking them and just added drums to it. I think it was Pete Johns, he did it too. And it was like, hang on a minute, who's this weirdo with the plastic bag on his head? And so having another drummer in the community is just fucking sick. The more drummers we get, I think the better, because it's just going to make everybody's songs that they do sound so, so, so much better. Yeah.
And it's crazy because there was so many drummers before I even started reaching out into anybody in this community. Again, doing the first collab with Lori, I was subscribing to drummers, other drummers, and stuff, and there's so many other drummers out there on YouTube, and I think it's a matter of taste and stuff, and whether or not they want to go this route to do things, and or they want to do their own thing, whatever the case may be. There's definitely a few of them out there too. I mean, you got Take Two drum covers, K Kung drums.
Yep.
So there's a couple of them out there. Yeah. So
Absolutely. And fuck me in the head for not even mentioning them. I've got this. I went right back here to your, right back to the beginning. I love doing this. I do this with everybody's channel. When I find a new channel, I go right back to the beginning to see what they were doing when they first started. And I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I just want to do this because some people just have it, right? Let's unmute. This was your first video you did. Already, camera angles. Fuck yeah. All right, I could listen to that fucking ever, but we're not going to do that. I just wanted to show an example of. So you mentioned you do graphic design, so you clearly have a vision for how you want to make things look and presentation, and you can see that in that first video. And I much respect for that, because I think a lot of people start out on YouTube and don't really have a vision, and then they grow into it. But you seem very comfortable in the way you want to market yourself and the way you want to make your drums look and the presentation, which is awesome. So tell us about that setup there that you had, and we'll move into how having to break it all down and then moving into a brand new fucking house.
Well, that setup there evolved over time as well. So yeah, when I first got back into drum, that was just me jamming. Like, well, what am I gonna do? I can't learn new original songs anymore. So that was my transitional phase right there, where I was just practicing and recording what I was practicing, and I just snipped a few clips out of it and put that kind of a video together and did it. But that was using I think an iPhone. There was a GoPro Hero 8 in there, maybe a webcam. Yeah, that was a little rough then. But ultimately, like you mentioned, having that design eye, I knew that. So for me, the GoPro Hero 8 has like a cloudy kind of a look to the lens to it.
Right.
So I didn't really like that. And then same with the webcam, obviously a webcam is a webcam, and the iPhone, same thing. It's a phone, it's not going to give you an actual DSLR or mirrorless type style camera. It's not going to give you what that's going to give you. And at first, I started off with one of my 5600s. I had a Nikon 5600, and I was using that for a little bit. And then eventually I recognized, that's sitting really close to my face and everything, because it's such a small room and there's no room for cameras in there. It was using like a 55 millimeter standard lens that comes with it. And so I threw a 10 millimeter lens on there, which 8 millimeter is what they consider fisheye lens, where it gives like a bigger view. So 10 was just above that. It's not quite fisheye, but it has kind of that effect to it a little bit. So that's what kind of made that whole drum room. When I brought that camera into the picture, which wasn't in that first video, but it's in some of the earlier ones that we've seen there. It made everything look so much bigger in the room than it actually was, because it was literally a box, a 6 foot around, and I could touch every side. So it really opened it up to a cinematic view. And then being able to shoot in 4K, and then learning color grading and everything was really important too. And getting the lighting right and all that stuff. It's just a learning process. I sit there and watch my videos back, and it's like, why aren't you watching other people's videos? Well, I watch my videos because I want to improve what I'm doing. So I'm watching my videos back, and I'm like, oh, I don't like how that light was positioned there, and stuff like that. What can I do to make that better? And just keep evolving with it.
You're right. There's a whole lot of trial and error. I sit here in this. I walk into this thing every day and go, holy shit, it's like a fucking spaceship. We got cameras above and cameras over here and cameras here and cameras here. And there's so much that goes into it. And especially like with a drum kit, like, fuck me. Not only that, you've got to mic everything up. You got to have the power to be able to drive that all into a computer. And computers, man, I think a lot of people don't realize until you're trying to do something like this, USB ports can only take so much, right? Before they get overloaded. And I'm pushing my computer to the absolute max at the moment to do this. If I add one more thing, everything doesn't work anymore. It's a balancing act with it's power supplies even. You need to know all your power supplies, what you're putting in, or fucking you set your house on fire. There's a lot that goes into this, yeah? So
I build my own PCs. So I do. I have 1,000-watt power supply on mine. So yeah, I do understand that. And 3 monitors sitting right here in front of me. So there is definitely a lot going on here.
It's a super balancing act, yeah. So just recently you bought a house, and fuck man, congratulations, right?
Thank you.
We live in a world right now where fucking buying a house is becoming more of a dream. Here in Australia, it was like the dream was to own a house, and everybody can own a house, and it's getting very hard to do that these days with the way the world is going. So congratulations. That shows a lot of commitment and what's the word I'm trying to look for? Structure.
It's a loose structure.
That's a loose structure. But no, it does. It's balancing all this. It's like balancing your life is like setting up a stream, getting all the mics right and making it sound good. And you just recently did your first live performance with that setup because you've just moved into this house. I'm jumping ahead. How excited were you when you got this new house? Like, were you looking for the house with firstly in mind the drums?
Firstly in mind, I'll be honest. But there was several things that were firstly in mind for me. The drums were absolutely utmost. For me, it was like walking around it was looking at any house that I went and looked at. It was, is there a room? Is there a good spot where the angle, where it's going to look good against the wall? Or I have like a big open room where I can play. If not, is there property? Do I have property on this house where I can actually build a full studio?
Yeah.
And so is there a barn out there that I can convert into, a studio or something like that? So that was kind of first and foremost, obviously. Secondly was neighbors and noise complaints. I grew up in the city, and where I was living previously was a tin can. So you could hear everything. So I wanted space. I wanted room. I was playing in that 6 foot around box that was in the old house. Man, I had no room to do anything. And I had my living room had drum sets stacked up, and I didn't have a couch.
The life of a drummer.
so so here it's like, okay, well, I can stack, 2 drum sets up over there, and I this house is this is a second living room that I'm in now, and I got another living room downstairs. So if I to get too personal, but I'm a single dude, so if I ever did meet somebody or whatever the case may happen to be, there's plenty of room, and I got a living room down there, and again, there's property, so I can always build a studio if I have to. So that was kind of the idea behind it, a lot of it.
I love it. I think,
And
yeah, go. It's yours.
no, I'm sorry, this house, when I saw it, man, it's just such a unique layout. It's like an octagon and with like a key that goes down. I don't know, cool house. So I kind of had to jump on it.
I feel you. Like the house I'm in now, like I got the house I was in for a long time as a 3-story unit, and I had my studio in. You got walls on either side, and I felt so bad because I sing a lot of really loud. I sing very loud. I'm almost as loud as a fucking drum kit sometimes. But when I was looking for a new house, every place I looked at, you go through and it's like, yep. All right, but which one's going to be the fucking studio? How many PowerPoints are in there? Fucking what's the light situation? Can I put stuff on the wall? And when I found this place, I was so lucky because I walked in and nobody else was looking at it. And that gave me the chance to stand out the front and talk to the realtor, because it's hard to get a house when your job is a YouTuber. Because people don't get it. What's a YouTuber? Oh my God. But the guy who was renting this fully got it and was like, all right, so how do you make your money? I'm like, oh, it's a bit weird, but and the main thing was they just wanted but do you want to you seem like you want to have a career doing this. So I got the house based on my enthusiasm for what I do. So, so I'm so blessed. I love this place so much. But it is important, I think, to have a great space to do your craft.
Absolutely.
I got this.
You got to have a good headspace, and I'm glad to hear that you're happy in your house too.
I love my house so much. It cost way too much.
Yeah, man, I feel you.
I'm sure you're with me. I'm at that point now. If one thing goes wrong, it's over. You know what I mean? That's the pressure. It's so you got to work your ass off. That's just the thing. I want to play, because you put out this great video, amazing video, how you transformed your home into a drum studio. I'm not going to play the whole clip, and I think Thomas already put the link in there. Hopefully my amazing, greatest admin of all time, Thomas, you'll put the link in again. But I want to play a bit of this, because this video, I saw you drop this and was like, man, that is a fucking great video. It's just, I love the way it's put together. It just, I don't know, man. On YouTube, I'm a sucker for a story, right? And I think most of us are. You get drawn to a YouTube channel because you identify with the person and a story, and you want to hear that. I think over thumbnails or any of the other analytical bullshit, you want to connect with the person. And this was the thing that made me want to ask you on the show, yeah? Because it was just...
YouTube said that video had extremely bad pacing throughout the video. So
fuck off, YouTube. I swear to God, whatever. I'm going to play this and make sure you can hear it too. Let's do that. So we'll play a little bit of this, guys, but I encourage you to go and watch the whole thing. Let's do it now. Let's go over here. Boom. And we're off.
Let me take you through time as I lead up to building a drum room in my house, all to start recording myself playing drums and making YouTube videos as I relearn how to play.
I started playing drums at a young age. I joined concert band, marching band, local bands. But in 2010, I decided to take a break. In 2018, I moved into a new place. and started playing drums again on an acoustic kit. Naturally, the neighbors weren't thrilled. I started posting a few clips to Instagram, just phone audio. Friends and family seemed into it, so I thought, hey, why not take it seriously? I'd been playing the same Pearl Export kit I got for Christmas when I was 13, and it was time for an upgrade. But here's the thing. I was way out of the loop, man, with modern recording. So I grabbed a Behringer mixer at first, thinking, cool, I'll just run this into my PC with Firewire. A quick trip to Guitar Center changed everything. That's where I found out about a Focusrite 18i20, and boom, things started to click. I picked up a shared drum mic pack with 4 SM57s and a Beta 52 for the kick. Threw in 2 Sterling audio overheads for good measure. I'll break this all down in a second. So the neighbors started complaining once I started playing, of course. I figured, I'll build a drum room. I started mapping out everything in Photoshop, yes, inch by inch. I documented the whole thing from framing to ceiling, and all the little weird choices along the way. Let's walk through the build while I show you exactly how it came together. The house sits on a raised foundation, so I couldn't go too heavy with it. That meant lightweight materials, but still enough to kill the sound. The hardest part was making it modular, light, and actually effective. I started with a lightweight foundation, removing some 2x4s as I needed to keep the weight down in the room. For the walls, I used 3/4 inch drywall and packed them with insulation. Instead of full studs, I connected the panels using small pieces of 2x4, again to save weight. Then sealed it all with liquid nails for extra isolation. Once the walls were up, I anchored them to the floor. But I left space around the edges so I could access everything later on. And this is important. None of this was actually attached to the house itself. The last big pieces were the roof and the door. I built the door using leftover drywall, made sure it fit snug into the frame to trap sound. The roof went up into 2 separate pieces, easier that way. I sealed the joints, then covered the whole thing with more drywall and sealant. Is this the pro way to do it, man? Probably not, but it worked. Inside, I sealed everything with joint compound and caulk, then sanded it smooth. I even wrapped drywall trim around the door frame to help with the sound leak. Once it was all sealed up, I grabbed a bucket.
All right, no, you're going to have to go and watch it yourself, guys. It just is what it is. You're just going to have to do it yourself. We'll cut to. Let's do this. Let's play this. Just so you could see that finished product. Now, again, that shows just how much fucking work goes in. The putting behind a space to walk around is just bonkers. This is wild, man. Like, I was watching that the first time going, fuck me, that's dedication. That is really, really incredible stuff. Now, that's the old studio, wasn't it?
That was the old house, yep.
Yep. So now you've moved, and I remember seeing you move into the new house, and you just had this huge space before you set up the kit. And like, what would you say is the difference like to you from the old to the new? Is it that much better, or has it been a challenge setting up the new place?
Uh, it's kind of night and day difference,
Right.
honestly, because you have room. Like, in the old one, it was, oh, you had that slider that went across in there, and it was like to get that slider up there, man, I had to like think, how can I get this to work? So I like attached it to the drum rack with an old clamp and an old cymbal rod that went up into the middle of the slider, that was all attached to the drum rack there. And I couldn't get behind it to do anything. I couldn't stand behind it to make sure that it was recording properly or anything like that for the cameras and stuff like that. So I actually couldn't do anything from behind the kit. If I accidentally lost a drumstick and it went flying up in front of the kit, man, I had to take every single drum out of there just to get back there to get a damn drumstick.
Oh man, I can just imagine the expletives. Fuck, man. That's wild. But
Yeah.
But I mean, even that studio, that what you had there looks rad, just, and like you say in the video, you're like, yeah, I use Photoshop to map it out. Yeah, I know, like you're saying it like, don't judge me. I'm a bit of a geek. Fuck, man, that is the way to do it. That is the way to do it. Planning is essential especially for a kit. This isn't like we've said. You can't just tear this shit down in 2 minutes and just move it somewhere else. This is a LIFO kind of thing.
And getting that to fit inside of a 6 foot box like that, is very difficult. Geeking out a little bit, going into Photoshop. I had the Photoshop files set to inches. So I was literally going inch by inch in there and mapping it all out, taking an 18-inch cymbal. Okay, this is how much an 18-inch cymbal takes in this floor space. This is how much a 14.5-inch throne takes in the floor space. The whole thing. I'm going to need, about a foot clearance, maybe give or take, maybe a half a foot for the drum rack for the cymbal stands that are coming off the drum rack. I'm going to also need to put in front of their lights and stuff like that. So how do I get those stands in there and stuff like that? Eventually, I ended up mounting the lights to the ceiling, get all the stands out of the way because I didn't have any room. But yeah, a lot of planning in that.
And hell, if it all goes wrong, you've got a Dexter kill room.
Yeah, it's a soundproof room. You can get away with a lot of things. And
some plastic sheeting and a kill table and, some Glad wrap, and off you go, Dexter, eat your heart out. You know what it reminded me of watching that build? For anybody who's seen Big Brother, the television show, that's pretty much how they make the Big Brother house. So it's a house. It looks like a house inside and everything, but behind all the windows and walls and everything is like a thin area around there that the cameras are, and people walk around behind those walls. Trust me, I know that's a long story how I know that, but that's exactly how a television set works. That's how it is. So, very, very clever stuff. But I guess, you've got to think like that. Like Mr. Smith as well. He's got his drum room set up, and the guy was like sick of using green screens. So he just painted the fucking whole room green. That's
ballsy.
It is ballsy, man. Like, I don't think I could walk into a room that's completely green all the time. It's not easy.
I love Mr. Smith, but I would have a hard time coming up with creativity with nothing but like a green wall behind me. But I guess.
Hey, look, that's the thing. I did this show for the longest time with a green screen behind me because my old room sucked. And now when I moved in here, you get to do all the metrosexual fucking lighting that everybody has, and do all that stuff. And now I walk in here and go, oh man, so bisexual, that lighting. It's so wonderful.
It is beautiful. Sexy.
It is, isn't it? There's something about the fucking blue lights that is just like boner material. If you're able to boner. What am I talking
Super
about?
boners.
Super
big, huge, stiffy.
Biggest. Yep, big. It's not easy being green, as Sander Roscoe Wolf says. Hi, Hugh, as well. There's a few people I've missed while we've been chatting. Jerry Gomes is in the house as well. Costa rolled in. He's ready with your personal information at any time. Rachel always here as well. Hello. Thank you if I've missed you. I'm just so involved in this interview, like always.
Yeah, and I love Mr. Smith's green dude. That's dedication too. So props for that. I was I was kind of joking like green screen. There's not much creativity, but dude, that's dedication, man. Props to you for that.
Absolutely. I've moved my green screen into the garage now, James. I have a green screen room with a whole lot of lights in there and a camera, so I can just walk in there and just shoot whatever I want and then bring it back into this studio. That's the way to do it, Mr. Smith says, I did the same, James, and have mounted the lighting in the ceiling. You got to get fucking creative to do this shit. And, you see Mr. Smith streams, and you're going to be streaming a hell of a lot more. I know that because your first performance was, and you're going to be critical of it, of course. Not everything's right, but that's the thing. StreamYard's a cunt. What can I say? There's that you got to contend with as well. So, mics set up. What kind of mics are you using? I'm interested in this. What is your microphone set up? What brands are they?
So it's a little bit of. I was really most of my decisions were like quality versus cost efficiency.
Yep.
Or however, whatever. I think I said that. Anyways, so so I have the Shure Beta 98s on the toms. Well, I watched multiple shootout videos, and it was like I want a good sound, right? And I was like, well, Earthworks, everybody wants Earthworks microphones. Well, those do sound great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but they're also very expensive. Whereas, it was like at the time it was like $379, $385 for the Earthworks, but it was like $250 for the Beta 98s, and that's like almost $100 in difference right there. Yeah. But listening to those shootouts, it was like there's not much of a it's not worth it. Yeah. So it was kind of like that. It was like those sound so good, like to jump up that little bit, for an extra $100, I'll take or leave it. The room mic is a Warm Audio WA87. That's supposed to be a replica of the Neumann U87, I believe, which is like a $3,700 mic. And that Neumann is about $800 after tax and everything. So, and it sounds awesome. And it actually has a warmer sound to it, which is perfect for a room mic. So it's clear and it sounds good. Overheads are Sterling, SE Electronics SE8s. They're vintage SE8s.
They have beautiful mics.
Those sound really clear. And it was there again. It was the same situation. The Shure has really nice overheads, but they were expensive, and these were like $1,500 or something like that for the pair. And it was like versus $3,500, however much it was going to cost for like a more expensive pair. And I listened to a shootout, and these sounded really good. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I got those. Of course, Beta 52 on the kick, SM57 on the top and bottom of the snare.
Can't go wrong.
Yep, absolutely. I heard at Beta 52 the first time I played like a larger venue, St. Andrews Hall in down in Detroit. When he mic'd that up and I heard that for the first time, I was like, I loved the sound of that microphone. So now that I had the opportunity to build everything and I've been doing, it was like, I'm getting the Beta 52A for the kick. So yeah, basically that's it. There's 14 bikes.
It's a fucking, it's an expensive craft, man. It really is. Like, I'm just thinking, as you're saying, I'm just thinking about the money going, fuck me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like probably I was adding it up one day and I was around 15 after, and that's when I kind of was like, all right, fuck this. I'm not adding that up anymore.
Like you were saying earlier, I'm going back to like Moises, right? Because you imagine we live in a golden age at the moment with tech, yeah? Like things like Moises, Logic has this stuff now where you can take a track, stem split it, use these intricate parts, hear the drums clear. So just with software, we're in a world I never thought we'd be in when I was a kid. And when it comes to mics and stuff too, like, of course, there's so many microphones and things out there that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. But these days, you can pick up microphones with, $200, $300 and they're fucking killer, compared to, then, you can nitpick and go, that's nowhere near the standard of this. And of course, Neumann's going to be always mwah. But we do live in a day and age where just gear is getting increasingly better for a cheaper price, which is good for a lot of home recording artists, And I try and say that here on the channel. If you're starting out, don't go and buy a fucking Neumann. Relax. Chill, man. Chill.
No, you don't. It's the same thing with the drum set for me. I stayed on that Pro Export and started practicing and playing on that. I said, when I think that I'm good enough to upgrade, I'll upgrade to a Session Studio Select, which is like a upgraded version of the Pearl. It's got better hardware, it's better shells, a little bit better of a kit. About $1,700 for the 5-piece, 6-piece. 5-piece. Didn't come with a snare. So that was like a step up. And now it's like, oh, you could get, a custom Pearl Masterworks, type of kit that's going to cost you $10,000. But am I actually good enough to have that kind of kit? Like, I mean, sure, I'd love to have it, but practically, this kit sounds amazing, and it's not $10,000. It's $1,700, which is a little bit more, but again, that's jumping past. When I first came back, I was playing on that Pro Export, which is like a $700 kit.
Yep. Yeah, my first E-kit, I knew nothing about E-kits. I bought this shitty thing from China. It was like $500, and man, was it piss poor. It's in the garage right now, and I have a Alesis Nitro, but that for me is enough. It's, in Australia, see our prices here. Alesis Nitro here in Australia is like fucking $900. That's fucking ridiculous. But in the US, it's something like $600, so it's big difference.
Yeah, it's still a good kit though. That one's it's a step up.
Yeah, well, I replaced it. I got an extra tom, and I got an extra cymbal, and I bought my own kick drum throne, new kick drum. So I bought that because the one that came with it sucked, and the one I got has a much bigger pad on it. So because I bought double kick pedals as well. So it's fully stocked out, man.
You're ready to go now.
Look, I can't tell you how, since getting a drum kit, just an E-kit, fuck, it's changed my life. I've got to play drums on Pete's stuff, and I'm a shit drummer, man. I suck at it, but it's so much fun, and fuck, it really helps with getting out aggression. Let me tell you that. That's a good thing.
It does.
It does, and I see Mr. Smith do it all the time. You'll see him finish a song and then just go, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, is he going to jump through the screen and kill us all? Fucking
every time I don't land a take, I'm doing that where I'm like, I didn't get that. I tried to play through the whole song. I get halfway through it, I'm like, fuck.
I love it. I'm so excited today. let's talk collaborations because you've done a heap of them. Let me just get back over here to your channel. What are some collaborations that you've done that stand out to you?
Um,
I've put you on the spot, haven't I?
I've done like 30 of them now. That Sticks one was a lot of fun. That was a very difficult drum track to learn. So that was fun. And then once it all came together, and Chris is I'm gonna call him a foreman because he's got the gut going on. So I wouldn't really call him like the construction worker.
Oh, he's gonna love you for that comment. He's gonna.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
He's going to watch this back and then he's going to do his show and just go, yeah, James, thanks for coming on the show because you're going on his show, I think, not this week, next week, yeah?
Yeah, next week, yep.
And I'm going to be in the chat and I'm going to remind Chris of you saying that about his gut. So we have to do.
I usually call him Thor, so I mean, let's. Yeah, no, that one definitely stood out.
You got Phil
I've done
Collins, Blondie, Blue Collar, fucking Rihanna, yeah, man, Umbrella, yeah.
It's a rock version, so
Yeah.
it actually that was my accepting plea to do that song, like it because it was a rock version. If it was the original version,
You still got a bit of the old metalhead in you there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing. Like on the channel, I try to do like rock based stuff. So yeah, that was a or you know, even if it's like later rock, but yeah.
You got
that one.
We Are the World. Yeah.
Yeah, there was 14 musicians on that.
Yeah.
Eileen was on there. Lori's Mishmash was on there. That was a good one. I've done a few drummer collabs where I've collabed with other drummers. Did some Christmas ones with other drummers and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, they're all fun.
Absolutely.
I have fun with them.
Oh, let me get my camera back over here, and we're all doing good. So, look, folks, if you haven't subbed, go over there, or you know what'll happen. I'll hunt you down. Not really, but that kind of looks good.
I believe it.
Yeah, all the way from Australia, I'm going to hunt you down. So
we know people that will.
Yeah, we know people. Don't fuck with drummers. I like to throw myself. I'm a pretend drummer. I like to hang around with drummers. Yeah. So what are your plans going forward for your channel? What do you see? Where would you like to see the channel go? And musically, what are you looking for in the future and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, again, the main goal to start this channel was really just to show friends and family, because they were like, oh yeah, the drum cover, you're doing a good job on those. So really that's what it's always and probably will be about. However, I had a few videos, which you played already, Nothing Else Matters and Love Hurts. Those took off, and they're up to like 139,000 views now. And I was like, holy shit. I did not expect that to happen. And when that happened, that got the watch hours up. That got me over 1,000 subscribers. And it was like, oh shoot, I see some potential here. I better, keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. So, now it's about, I am monetized. So I am making money off of YouTube. So I'm trying to do a little bit of copyright free stuff in there as well and trying to mix it up a little bit. I did that in the beginning, but I stopped because I'm like, hey, I'm not monetized, so I'm not getting paid for this. So yeah. I was like, I'll wait to save these until I get monetized. So I have lots of ideas. I want to go into my recording gear. I want to go into my processes. I want to do some videos of me mixing some stuff. The difficult part of that is usually when I'm mixing a song, it's like I can't do that live because it's usually for a cover that's coming up that nobody knows about. So it's like I can't mix this live or anything like that. So as far as live goes, I really don't know what I would do live or anything like that. But yeah, the goal is really to just keep learning, keep doing drum covers. I'd love to do some original music. If I can learn guitar and do some stuff, I'd love to do my own stuff. I'd also, anybody else has drum needs a drum track. I'm well, actually, I'm backed up right now, but usually I'm pretty quick to get them returned. I do have I do have a few originals right now that I am working on with a few people. They're originals, and I'm just doing the drums for them. I'd love to get in more difficult songs. I'd love to step into some of the more popular drum covers that are out there. Keep growing the channel and see if I can't do something with it. I mean, hey, I'm not, again, like I said, man, this has always been about family and friends and showing just drumming and having fun with it. So that's what it's always going to be about. But, hey, the opportunity, somebody throws a $50 bill in front of you. What are you going to do? Stare at it? No, that's a good way to put it, I guess.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you probably need your head read if that's what you're doing. Take that shit and run. You know what I'd like to see from you? I'd like to see like technique stuff and just like how you do things. I love watching that stuff with drummers because I know shit, And here's the other thing about, I'm just going to say it, I call it as it is. It's like we've got Mr. Smith and other drummers that we've got in the community. Mr. Smith doesn't have a face. He just doesn't have a face. He's just a ghost. He floats by. He's got a plastic bag over his head. That's my running joke.
He's even got the name Mr. Smith. I mean, as generic as you can get.
Exactly. So, but you've got such a kind face, James. You've got a very kind face, and I think that's partly the appeal of people watching you. I look at stuff like that. If you've got, even when you're looking mean. So, you'll have to work on that to get a bit meaner. I don't know. But I'd love to see that stuff too. I'd love to see behind the scenes and more of that stuff. I think that's that's really cool because that's easy to monetize. You've got no problem monetizing that shit. So I love to see lots of that stuff. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I can't wait to hear you get more involved doing like originals because there's going to be plenty of time for that. You've already done a few of those too. So that's super exciting. We are at the end of it. And there's so much more I could ask you, but that's why we have like a creator rewind and we bring people back later on a year or so later to see what else they've been up to, which is cool. So I want to thank you for coming on here today. And
yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure, and I tell you what, folks, if you want to work with this guy right here, very professional. I send out an email to him and say, hey, here's all the things I need. And fuck me, everything you gave me was so neatly presented. You just made this a joy to do. I love that. Not saying that anybody else has been terrible, but you just made it very...
Step your damn game up, people. No,
fucking what are you doing, losers? Fucking what's going on? Plus, I need to mention as well, too, because this is very important, our friend James also has a Patreon, and for artists like him, it does help. So if you're considering wanting to help out James and get involved, go over to the Patreon. He's also got merch as well. The link is in the description if you want to grab some of James's merch. As you see, he's pretty good at the old graphic design-y stuff, so your merch looks fucking sweet.
And all my videos are copyright, so I make like no money off of pretty much everything that I do, except like I mentioned before. So, I mean, yeah, help a brother out.
Come on, folks. So the last question I ask every poor sod who comes on this show, if somebody, James, was considering becoming creative, when would be the best time for them to start? Go.
And of course, right now.
Absolutely. Do it. What are you waiting for? There's no time like now because you never know, you might walk out the door and get hit by an airplane.
It's like those Nike commercials. You seen those ones? Do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now. Do it, bitch. Fucking get it done. We are going to go out today with a track. Let me get it all keyed up here. Is there anything you want to say to our wonderful audience here that have been watching live and on the replay before you can do that while I find this fucking song?
No, fuck them. No, no, thank you guys so much. I am so happy that people came and watched this. I'm happy to be a part of this show. Everything is amazing. Be kind. Yay.
Everything
Thank
is
you,
awesome.
guys.
Everything is awesome.
Yes, positivity.
All right, my friends, we are ready to go. We're going to close the show today with a bit of Parkway Drive and the Greatest Fear because, you know, we got to do it. And I just want to let you guys know what's happening tomorrow here on the channel. I've got to do these advertising stuff for my channel, I guess, and be responsible. What is the thing I'm doing tomorrow? I've got too many thumbnails I can't see anything. Where are we? This one.
What was that word you used?
Well,
I'm sorry, I just threw you for a loop.
Tomorrow.
I said, what was the word you used?
Tomorrow, Red Nova and Super Sitter, 2 apps by Simon Alexander. They're both really rad, so hopefully you can come and join me as part of the Friday Human Centipede Mung train, whatever you want to call it. So that's happening. And, of course, it is Songtember, folks, so I hope if you are getting involved that your Songtember's going well, you've got some ideas. Remember, Songtember wraps up at the end of the year, and Pete Johns does 2 massive shows playing all the music that you've put together. Remember, the charity album, the US charity album, is currently underway as well, so hopefully you're going okay with that. Submissions have to be in my... Oh, shit, Russ, help me out. Is it the 18th or 13th? I can't remember. I'm terrible with this shit. Also, I'm continuing my series, The Creative Hour, working on my Songtember songs. Yes, I'm doing 7 songs in a month. Why? I don't know. I'm an idiot. But we are going to go out now and play this track.
Good content.
We're going to play this track. I want to thank, of course, our sponsor, DistroKid. You know DistroKid. I can't do it without you, and I love you very much. Thank you, DistroKid, for everything you do. It's a sexual relationship, mainly me and DistroKid. All the emojis are flying. The James emojis are happening, and
I love it.
Let's do it. We have Parkway Drive, The Greatest Fear. Please stay on the call till the end so I can say goodbye to you, James, and thank you personally.
Absolutely.
Don't get any ideas, weirdos. It's just I'm just thanking him. All right, let's do it. Yeah, use the link. You save some money on your DistroKid plan. Do it. Help a bitch out, please. All right, let's do this.
What she said.
This is Parkway Drive, The Greatest Fear, from our wonderful guest today, James Myers. Let's Oge.